Each breath is a new opportunity. Breathe in, magnetize yourself with cosmic energy.
One of the primary instruments used in the ancient temples was the drum. The cyclic energies of the seasons of the year were comprehended, remembered, and preserved in the rhythm of the temple rituals. Keeping the urban population in close touch with the process of nature was one of the primary purposes of the rituals performed by the priestesses and priests of ancient Sumer in Mesopotamia. In Mesopotamia, we find the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk, sacred to the goddess Inanna, which was the site of the earliest known written language. Here is the place where history as we know it begins. Ancient Sumerian texts describe rituals involving drumming and the making of sacred drums. They give us the first named drummer in history, Liusia, the highest-ranking priestess in the city-state of Ur in 2280 BC. Liusia was the spiritual, financial, and administrative head of the most important temple, the Temple of the Moon. Her role was to be the mediator between the divine and human realm. Her emblem of office was a small frame drum called the balagdi. We also find evidence of the frame drum in ancient Egyptian culture. From Hathor comes language and the ability to communicate both human to human and human to divine. Like Sarasvati and Inanna, she is the source of cultural arts. Chief among these was music. The round frame drum first appears in Egypt in a religious context. Two women, probably priestesses, played the frame drum at the festival celebrating the Djed pillar during the reign of Pharaoh Amenhotep III, circa 1417 to 1379 BC. The Djed pillar was a symbol of fertility, later becoming a symbol of stability, and possibly also symbolizes the elevation of life force energy along the spine. From the New Kingdom, 1600 to 1100 BC, there is a depiction on a drum skin head found in Thebes, depicting Isis giving life to Osiris. These scenes illustrate the drum's power of invoking creation and resurrection and its use in related rituals. From Egypt, we also have images showing priestesses playing the frame drum before Isis, as well as for Hathor and Mut. For the Egyptians, thought was a vibrational energy that pervaded the physical world. They believed that mind, body, and spirit could be aligned with the ultimate divine intelligence by meditative practices coupled with sacred sounds created by voice and musical instruments. According to Robert Lauer, the Egyptians believed that the purpose of humankind was to embody and express the vibratory, rhythmic life of cosmic humanity, which was felt to exist abstractly, like inaudible music. The Greeks named this system of mind-body techniques the Egyptians practiced in pursuit of expanded consciousness gymnosophism. The disciplines they described, rhythmic breathing, visualization, and chanting to rhythm, appear to be similar to many of the yogic practices from India. In Greece, around the year 350 BC, the goddess Cybele, the all-begetting mother, beats a drum to mark the rhythm of life. She sits on a throne with lions on each side. The lions symbolize that she is mistress of wild nature and the initiator into higher levels of awareness. In Greece, we also find many other frame drummer statues of priestesses playing to Aphrodite and Astarte. The ancient Hebrew connection to the drum is evident when examining the Old Testament of the Bible, which contains explicit reference of rhythm to be used in celebration. David pleased God by dancing to the music of tambourine, the cymbal, and stringed instruments. Psalm 68. Sing unto my Lord with cymbals. Judith 16. After the parting of the Red Sea, it was written, and Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. Exodus 15:20. In both the Hebrew and Greek cultures, we find a connection to the bees of the goddesses. These bee priestesses were often prophets, or more correctly, prophetesses, who showed the way home through the beating of the drum. Priestesses at Cybele's temples in Asia Minor, Greece and Rome, were called Melissae or Melissae, the Greek and Latin words for bees. Deborah was the ancient Hebrew name for the bee priestess. Bees show a perfect model of community. They are tireless givers of life. They serve the queen and make sacred substance. Of all the insects represented in the ancient world, bees are the foremost in ritual and symbolic meaning. They too represent birth, death, and reincarnation. The sound of the bee, which we can replicate in our hum, is a fundamental relaxation and energetic practice in this course. Humming is both an ancient and modern practice. The ancient yoga texts give instructions for Brahmari breath. Brahmari refers to the sound of the absolute, of undifferentiated reality, which is reminiscent of the sound of the bees buzzing and at the root of the sound Om. Modern science has found that humming greatly benefits our health. Scientific research, from astrophysics to biology, tends to support the idea that rhythm is a fundamental force. Fundamental force, also called fundamental interaction in physics, refers to any of the four basic forces: gravitational, electromagnetic, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear, that govern how objects or particles interact. Rhythm drives the planets in their orbits and the fetus in its growth. Rhythm prompts the cycles of the earth and the cycles of our emotions. We experience health when our body rhythms are in sync. We live in the tempo of time, which, when synchronized with the rhythms of the earth, create a more harmonious existence. In our modern day times, many of us have fallen out of rhythm with life, resulting in chronic stress and anxiety. We know today, just as the ancients knew all along, that the drum is a powerful tool to establish balance in the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical realms. Through drumming, we can harmonize our brain hemispheres, which improves intellectual functioning, memory, and mental health, as well as reduces stress and fatigue. Harmonizing the brain also facilitates the elevated state of union consciousness. Neurological studies into the way our brain functions suggest that drumming could indeed bring about a transformation of ordinary consciousness, confirming what the ancient shamans, priests, and priestesses have always known. Guided by drum beats, the sacred drummer could alter their consciousness at will, traveling through the three worlds of the goddess: the heavens, the earth, and the underworld. Lane Redmond confirms that ancient sources tell us the frame drum was not just a powerful symbol of spiritual presence, it was an important tool for many spiritual experiences. Priestesses of the goddess were skilled technicians in its uses. They knew which rhythms quickened the life in freshly planted seeds, which rhythms facilitated childbirth, and which induced the ecstatic state of spiritual transcendence. As we reconnect to the rhythms of life through the meditative path of the frame drum, we coordinate with sacred order, and we participate fully in restoring personal and community health and well-being. Today, the frame drum is returning as a powerful tool for spiritual practice. The frame drum answers a deep transcultural need to reestablish our rhythmic links to nature and with each other. We draw upon an ancient path of power connected to Mother Earth, while embedding our rhythms with an ever-evolving and expanding heart consciousness that echoes out to infinity. The use of frame drums in Indian music goes back to ancient times. Music historian Peter Michael Hamel says that the significance of the drum, even in the earliest beginnings of Indian culture, is made clear by a comparison of Buddhas, in which he likens the eternal laws of the universe to the rhythm of the drum. Among the ancient principles of yoga is ritualized rhythmic speech. Through the repetition of certain sounds, the practitioner creates vibratory rhythms within and around the body that energize the brain and nervous system. The sequence of syllables of sound frequencies is called mantra. Mantra is a tool to direct the mind to a higher thought frequency and possibility so that we can connect to our true essence within the spiritual heart to harmonize and elevate our life. The drum connects us to the earth and gives energy to mantra. The drum calms the mind instantly so that you can quickly enter into deeper states of meditation along with the tools of pranayama and mantra.
Each breath is a new opportunity. Breathe in, magnetize yourself with cosmic energy. Soham, soham. Soham, soham, soham. Breathe out. Take the breath back to its origin. Let this breath be the breath that takes you to